stop! Well, yes, that's Mount Ararat, but it's not quite that we see the Ark balancing on top there, is it? There have been many expeditions to Mount Ararat, and the best they've come up so far is this rock thing near that mountain. Some creationists go into much detail investigating this rock. I'm not convinced. It just looks like a rock to me. Many creation scientists see problems with this mountain itself. Even creationists who have considered this the landing spot for decades. Complicated technical stuff, such as this is a layered stratovolcano, which does not seem an ideal landing spot for an Ark during a flood scenario. I don't want to go into detail about that now. There's another big problem with this mountain. This mountain is called Mount Ararat since 400 AD. It was called Mount Ararat by the Armenians because they knew that the landing location was somewhere near Armenia. And so they looked for the largest mountain in their country and said, well, hey, this must be Mount Ararat. But before 400 AD, nobody called this Mount Ararat. Here's the problem. This is Armenia. And as you can see, Mount Ararat is not even in there. Did the mountain move? Of course not, but borders did. At the time this mountain was named Ararat, it was in Armenia. But you know, borders had already changed before. Because at the time the Ark was in Armenia, Armenia looked like this. This whole area no longer belonged to Armenia. So they might have made a mistake. Beside the Bible, there are many other sources that mention the Ark, and the Bible itself says the Ark landed in the mountains of Ararat, but never really specified where that is. One of the places that is mentioned often by other sources is Gordien, or the mountains of the courtiers. That's here. It was mentioned by Flavius Josephus, Berossus, Isidorus of Sevilla, Eusebius, and Epiphanes. My pronunciation is probably horrible, but who cares? These testimonies are spread out over almost 1,000 years. Some even mentioned that you could still see the remnants of the Ark in the mountains of Gordien. The same Flavius Josephus also mentioned the Ark in references to King Monobazus of Adiabene. Adiabene is slightly south of Gordien. But remember, borders are not static, so near is close enough. This does not necessarily prove any contradiction whatsoever. Another place that is mentioned at least 4 times is in the Kurdish mountains. The Kurdish region overlaps the Gordien mountains, so it's the same place. But there's one name that actually pinpoints the landing location of the Ark. That's Mount Judi, also known as Mount Qudi or Al-Judi. This mountain is mentioned in Islamic scriptures and by several eyewitnesses. Even up to 1000 AD, they said that you could still visit the place to see the remnants of the Ark. This mountain is in the regions mentioned earlier. I believe this is the landing spot of the Ark. And I believe that because it's reported in many testimonies individually spread out over thousands of years. Eyewitnesses. There was also a Nestorian monastery built near the Ark. According to the source, they celebrated once a year there that the Ark landed there. This monastery was destroyed by lightning in 766, and the remnants are still there. And there are sources that mention that at some time in history Mount Qudi was forgotten as the landing spot of the Ark, and the area of interest shifted to Mount Masis, which is now called Mount Ararat. So Mount Qudi it is. So how about let's go there? I recommend you don't. Not only is it not wise to go to one of the most politically unstable regions in the world in the middle of a pandemic, there's also some bad news. The Ark is gone. Multiple scriptures say that the Ark has been removed to build a mosque from its materials. The oldest source is from 1100 AD, so somewhere between 1000 AD and 1100 AD, Omar ben al-Khattab removed the remnants of the Ark and built a mosque with it in Yusrat ul-Omar. So the Ark now looks something like this. The city is now called Cizre in the south of Turkey and very near Mount Qudi. It's probably one of these mosques, but I don't know which one. So we don't have an ark anymore, but we have strong evidence that the evidence is destroyed and the landing spot is known. Thank you for watching. Check out my other videos and subscribe if you want more information like this.